All right. So, um, not sure whether you can see or not. Great. All right. So here are the things I want to tell you. It's been a while um, that I haven't uploaded any kind of video on YouTube, but right now I'm catching up. Okay. So here are some things I want to share you. These days I've been learning. Okay. How to make yourself become valuable in life. Alright? So there are 5 steps that you can make yourself valuable in your life. So step number 1 is accepting your external seemingly low value. What I mean accepting external seemingly low value would be let's say if you're going out dating with a girl, okay, you probably go to a restaurant, and what if the price of the cuisine is overly expensive, you couldn't even afford it, and at that very moment, since you are the one who is going to cover for the meal, and you try to making excuses by saying, for example, this restaurant the food is horrible, or maybe you say, or maybe you pretended that you can afford it, and then when you were covering the bill, you were a little bit, clingy. All right, so that is a time when you don't accept your external seemingly low value. Because in your real life, if you go to a restaurant alone, you probably wouldn't go to a really high level fancy restaurant, right? So why would you when you're going out dating with a woman, you would just pick a restaurant that you probably not even go to alone? So this doesn't really make sense at all. So instead of trying to pretend that you are not the person who you are, trying to making all the excuses for covering your low value, it's better that you just accept it. And women doesn't care. Deep down, they really don't care. In a human to human level, they really don't care whether you are rich or not. But what she cares is more about you show that you feel that you are low value. It is exactly that feeling that turns them off. So even if you go to a really horrible restaurant, eating a really cheap food, buying some kind of really low value clothes, you should never ever try to find any kind of excuses for yourself for saying that I cannot afford it because what? You just say I can't afford it. Let's go to the next restaurant. And right now I have this clothes. I can take these clothes for example. All right, you can see the clothes is already dilapidated. Just totally everything is broken inside. Okay, I bought this clothes in a second hand in a flea market. So this is really cheap stuff for about, it's within maybe 100 RMB. That would be around $15 if I had done the right calculation. Yeah, about $15 for this outfit. Okay, it's a pretty cheap outfit, and even if I go out dating with a woman, if she finds out this, okay, what am I gonna say? Am I gonna make excuses, saying, this is I didn't know what is happening, or maybe it is bitten by some kind of mice, by some kind of cockroaches, or maybe this is some kind of clothes that I have from my college. No, I'm not gonna tell her that though. I'm just simply gonna tell her that I just buy this from a flea market because it's cheap and it's good looking. And anyway, the inside nobody can see it. I can only see it. I will be the only person who sees it. So this is what I have, right? So That is my way of accepting my low value. But it is by accepting your low value, by giving, that you are overly confident. It's not overly confident, you are just complacent, right? Even if it's a not a positive word, you can say you are complacent over everything that you have right now. All right? So that's step number one. Accepting your external seemingly low value, because there's nothing like high value and low value. Maybe in an external way, it's seemingly low value, but in fact, when it comes to talking to another person, nobody, this kind of thing really don't matter, right? Even if today you are pretty rich, let's say you are the one who's driving I don't know, maybe driving a cheap car, okay? Maybe driving a I don't know, 500 million car, okay? Let's say you are the one who's driving Lamborghini, you're the one who's driving Bugatti, this kind of really fancy car. But there will always be people who is able to afford something more expensive than you are. Somebody who has a yacht, somebody who has who's running a really huge company. I don't know. This kind of similarly external value can always be compared. You would never be able to reach the best, okay? Because there will always be people who are better than you are, right? No matter it is your look, it is your physique, it's the way how you dress, it's your living style, it's about the ability that you can do something. It doesn't really matter, okay? What matters is your internal value. That's the only thing. Your core is bringing the charm to the audience, and your core heart, at the bottom of your heart, your core is bringing value to the others, right? That's a kind of internal value and internal power and internal strength. I would like to tell you, accepting your external seemingly low value. This is one thing new that I just found out, okay? Really, really important. And second, you deserve everything. What I mean you deserve everything, that means you literally deserve everything. If you are growing up in an Asian culture, our culture is somehow like to compare a lot of stuff. When we were in our childhood time, we would like to compare a lot of different kinds of things. For example, we do things like if you are a student, okay, when you were still a student, your parents would usually try to compare you with other students, with other children, okay. They would say that the other children are better than you are, so you need to work harder in order to get what you need, in order to get what you deserve. And with this kind of education and this kind of concept for over 2 decades, what would happen to this kind of person? They think that they deserve something and they don't deserve something. For example, they don't deserve, even if there's a girl who's 8 or 9 who has a crush on you, who has a interest in you, you feel that you don't deserve that, and you decline it, and you lose your opportunity. So this is horrible. And because in the side of somebody, in the side of her world, she might probably view you as an 8, as a 9 as well. But you are the person who view yourself as 5 or 4. You have this kind of self-pity. You don't have the confidence. You think that you don't deserve something. Okay, that's the time when you lose your chances. And if you always have this kind of internal low value concept or conception, you will never be able to get what you want. All right. So this is also a really important thing that I just find out about, something to do with your internal value and your understanding of the world. And this also, just made me think of one really interesting thing, and that is projection. Right? This is a psychological term, projection. The projection difference from you view yourself as 6, while there will be somebody view you as an 8, somebody view you as a 4, somebody view you as a 0, somebody view you as a 10. Okay, this is a projection differences. So your projection on your own doesn't matter. But if you view yourself, if you have this kind of concept on yourself that you are a 4, so that you only deserve 4, a girl who is 4, then when you actually have the opportunity to access to girls who are like 7 and 8, you lose the opportunity to get a better choice in your life. So never view yourself low. View yourself as a 10. Alright? View yourself as a 10, so you deserve everything. So you will have the best opportunity to get the best option in your life. Right? So that would be the second thing I want to say is you deserve everything. And third, be the man of your words. Be the man of your words means you never betray yourself. If you have set a plan, in the morning, saying that in today I'm gonna learn this. I'm going to hit the gym for 1 hour, and then I need to take a walk for another hour, and then I need to be fully committed in doing my job. Other than that, I also need to spend 1 or 2 hours learning English, or maybe learning a skill, or maybe learning a musical instrument. You never fail yourself by, I just let it go because I'm just overly addicted to my video games. I'm just overly addicted to indulge myself in short videos, these kind of pastime. No, you never do things like that, okay? You never fail yourself. You should have faith in yourself and never betray yourself, okay? You are the man of your words. Don't fail yourself. Don't betray yourself. That's the third thing I want to tell you. And number 4, wake up for making yourself proud. So, I see a lot of people saying that they believe enjoy the moment is enjoy your life is enjoy every moment. And enjoying every moment means doing everything that can create a dopamine hit. And in reality, if you live your life like that, because your dopamine, this kind of short-term dopamine hits, they are not external. And even if you have those kind of hits, you won't get anything eventually. Right? For example, you're eating some kind of junk food, you stay out late, you play video games, you watch short videos. Think about what kind of things have you learned after you've done those kind of activities. Absolutely nothing. But think about the things that you try to do, like the other things. For example, you spend 1 hour hitting the gym, doing a appropriate exercise, or maybe you spend 2 hours learning a new language, learning a new skill, right? So after learning those kind of things, you might feel a little bit tired, but you have learned something, and then you are proud of yourself, so that you feel happy. You're tired, but you're happy. But if you only pursue for short-term happiness, you are tired and you are never happy. You're happy for a short time, but eventually the aftermath is you feel shit. Almost shit. So it's way more better if you can do a long-term, beneficial activities than a short-term one. All right? And then number 5, harness your emotion. Emotion is a really interesting stuff. If you don't know, a lot of people know emotion, but a lot of people don't even know, many people don't know that they can actually harness the emotion rather than be the effect of emotion. They can be the cause of emotion. They can use the emotion rather than be the effect of emotion. Right? So for example, you are going out, maybe going out on a date, or maybe you are working, and then suddenly you made some kind of mistakes, and then you got called out, you got criticized, and in that time, if you are the one who opt for the passive way, that goes like, I feel so bad, I feel so horrible. I just wanna want to go back to my home, sleeping, playing video games, as a kind of gate, as a kind of escape. Or maybe you just act really aggressive, and because you have that kind of self-defense, you act really aggressive towards the others in order to protect your self-esteem. These kind of ways, they bring more or less the same effects or the consequence is that you learn nothing and you waste your time and you feel horrible, right? That will be the consequence that you can generate from the experience. If you are being controlled by emotion, that is the effect that you get. However, if you try to use your emotion, so just take myself as an example. There was the other day I tried to have a debate with another person on the internet, and we were talking about something, I didn't know what, but eventually I got called out because there was something that I did wrong and got him pissed off. And then during the whole conversation, I gradually tried to know the point that he was disappointed about me, and also about, because there's some point that he is disappointed about me, so I know there's something that I can learn from it. So at that time, because I was using a false projection over him, there was the other day that I was, on this kind of social app that I was just saying that, he might be some kind of dude just coming up here, hooking up. And he said that it wasn't pretty nice, and then we have some kind of, interactions, and eventually he called me out. At that moment, I felt embarrassed and awkward, really. But I also knew that, actually, there's something that he said carries a meaning and carries a thing that I can learn because he knows something more than I do. So after that argument, it probably took me 2 days to actually have my mentality just less unfluctuate and make it to be in a calm level. So, and during those process, I was learning things. I was learning something to do with projection, and then I just knew a lot. And right now, when I talk to people, when they say some kind of really horrible things to me, I know that, maybe they were using a false projection. Maybe I was the one who's using false projection, and made me even calmer. So next time when I just have an argument with the other people, I know what is the thing behind it, and I shouldn't have the projection because I can learn something from it. So, harness your emotion rather than be the effect of it. Don't be the slave of your emotion, but be the master of your emotion. All right. So that's pretty much about what I'm gonna tell you today. 5 things, okay, that can substantially improve your improve your value. All right. So number 1, accepting your external seemingly low value. Second, you deserve everything. And third, be the man of your words. And 4, wake up for making yourself proud. And number 5, harness your emotion. All right, that's pretty much about today's talk. Okay, I'll see you next time.